Welcome to a special edition of Security Unlocked at Microsoft Ignite. Security Unlocked is a Microsoft security podcast, and I am one of the co-hosts, Natalia Gadilla.
And I'm the other co-host, Nick Fillingham. Thanks for joining us for a special mini episode, this time with video. Today, we are revisiting a guest who joined us on episode 9. Welcome to the podcast, Ramshankar Sivakumar.
Hey, Nick. Hey, Natalia.
Thank you for joining us again today, Ram.
Absolutely.
So, Ram, you joined us for episode 9, unpacking the new ML threat matrix. So let's do a little bit of an intro.
My name is Ram. I'm a data cowboy in the Azure Trustworthy Machine Learning Group. And my team is broadly responsible for empowering engineers and security professionals to develop and deploy ML systems securely. So that's what our team kind of does on a day-to-day basis.
And so today we're going to talk about a project that you have spearheaded at Microsoft, which is the partnership with a bunch of other organizations across the industry to develop a brand new threat matrix for something called Adversarial ML. So maybe first and foremost, what is adversarial machine learning? And then what is an adversarial machine learning threat matrix?
Yeah, it's the most important topic that you haven't heard of, is how I like to start thinking with. Adversarial machine learning as a field has existed since 2004. And for a long time, it's been of curious interest to researchers on how to attack machine learning system. So broadly, the adversarial machine learning field is all about subverting machine learning systems for fun, for profit, or for like genuine harm. These kind of like attacks on ML systems for a long time can be really launched by trolls from Reddit and 4chan. Doesn't necessarily require like high math degree to bypass state-of-the-art machine learning systems. So that's where like the adversarial ML threat matrix comes into picture. It looks at how to secure, or what are kind of like the threats to machine learning systems. And we collaborated with MITRE on taking those techniques and trying to sift through what actually can attack production ML systems. And we collated that into a MITRE-style framework that the security professionals know of.
Ram, I wonder if you could explain maybe one or two of the adversarial ML techniques talked about in the threat matrix. Have there been any real-world attacks observed, or are we still in sort of hypothetical territory?
Most of this kind of like attacks comes from like academic research, but you don't want to brush them away because they're going after production ML systems. Now, we're also seeing a big uptick in red team members kind of like using this sort of like tools to stress test their ML systems. Model inversion is essentially when an adversary can recreate, on broad terms, can reconstruct the training data that goes behind your ML model. Now think about this, right? That's really powerful because if an attacker can reconstruct the private training data that goes behind your ML system, that's like a big privacy concerns. If you're using, say, if you're building a security system and you're using like secret 0 days as part of your training data, and if an attacker can go after that, oh boy, that's a big problem. Now, the attacker is not doing any sort of, she might have no clue about the algorithm. She might have no access to the source code, but by just sending specially crafted queries to the system and observing the responses, she's able to reconstruct the private training data. And that is really powerful.
So how can security professionals use the ML threat matrix? What are the applications? What's a day-to-day use case for somebody who's interested in applying that to their work life?
First of all, the adversarial ML threat matrix was put together to first show awareness. Security professionals, when we interviewed 28 organizations spanning large businesses, governmental organizations, nonprofits, and we asked them, hey, Gartner and everybody's talking about like how there can be legitimate threats to AI systems. What are you doing about it? And for a long time, like 25 out of 28 organizations responded that they do not have tools or processes in place to secure machine learning systems. In fact, like the thing that I always carry in the back of my mind is a security professional saying that we are still thinking about spear phishing and malware on the box. This kind of looks super futuristic. But in case it's actually really not, so the first thing of putting together this threat matrix is to empower security analysts to open their minds to this new vulnerability. The second thing is, if you want to take it a step further, you can assess from a defense perspective, monitoring strategies around these sort of like attacks that are possible on commercial ML systems. And what we've kind of done is we haven't taken all attacks on ML systems and put them in the threat matrix. We have only seeded the threat matrix with vulnerabilities which we have vetted against actual commercial ML systems. Use the threat matrix to think about like monitoring strategies and defense strategies and start the conversation with your own security team as to how to protect your crown jewels. And the third thing is this is kind of like built for the red team. So if you want to kind of explore how vulnerable your ML system is, we have put a lot of case studies contributed from Cisco, from Alibaba, from McAfee, from MITRE, and Microsoft as well. These are all like red team exercises that we have performed against our own ML systems. And we have put those as case studies in there as well. So take a look, get inspired, and really, when you are planning your next red team exercise, you can perhaps try to emulate one of the red team kill chains that we have put for attacking ML systems. So to recap, we really want you to think about this, creating awareness, and for defenders to really start thinking about getting the conversation going about monitoring strategies and defense strategies, and for red team members to kind of like use our like kill chain as template for your future red team exercises for testing the chinks in your ML systems.
And so, as I understand it, Ram, this is also a huge community effort. So, you are seeking out more feedback and insights from the community to keep building on these efforts. So, what's the right balance of transparency here? Because this is such sensitive information, because it is security, and you want to ensure that you're protecting your systems and data. How much should people be sharing, and when and how?
The Adversarial ML Threat Matrix is an open source project. If you go look at the contributors, you will see folks across the spectrum all coming and pouring how they are securing their ML systems. So this was started as an initiative with 18 organizations, and it's now growing. So please, if you are interested in how to secure ML systems, please go to our GitHub page. There's a Google Groups that you can join. You can also directly submit pull requests, and we are more than happy to kind of like look into them. So just go to your favorite search engine, type Adversarial ML Threat Matrix, and the first link, hopefully, is the GitHub page that you can kind of like take it forward to.
So thanks, Ram. And to learn more about the Adversarial Threat Matrix, check out episode 9 of Security Unlocked, securityunlockedpodcast.com, available on all major podcast platforms and apps, to hear Ram talk in more detail about adversarial ML, about the threat matrix, about the incredible work across the industry to pull it together. And of course, subscribe to hear more great stories about the people building security technology at Microsoft.
Thank you, Ram, for joining us again today. It was great chatting.
Thank you, Nick and Natalia, for having me. And for everybody watching, have a happy Microsoft Ignite.